grandma. She also happens to be an Usborne consultant. And so for the past few summers, we've participated with her in the Usborne reading, like summer reading program, where they collect pledges and they read so many minutes over the summer, and then they're able to use that money towards Usborne books. And when you have 4 kids, you collect a decent amount of pledges, I guess. So we got a ton of books. Now, there is at least one book missing. We had a little mishap in shipping. My box got selected for media mail and something got taken out and some random stuff got put in. So I am missing at least one book, and a few of our books were out of stock. And so this is probably about $400 worth of books here that I actually have. I'm hoping that I can get some things reordered now that they're back in stock, or order different books in replacement. And so I may tag that on the end. If I do not tag it on the end, I will put another haul up for you guys. But I wanted to share this stuff with you guys because my kids are dying to get their hands on it. And so I wanted to do that so that they could go ahead and start really diving into these books. I showed them and then said, you guys can't really touch them until I film them. So less than 24 hours later, I wanted to get this filmed as quickly as I could so that they can really get into these books because they are so excited. So the very first book I got was Never Get Bored Outdoors. And this is a great hardback book. If you are familiar with this is like the Peek Inside series. So, no, Peek Inside, Look Inside, sorry. It's roughly just a little bit bigger, but it's not quite as big as the See Inside. And it has this awesome little elastic, which is nice. But inside is just awesome ideas of things to do outdoors that aren't necessarily like just a sport or riding your bike, things like that. So there's lots of cool things, how to fly paper helicopters and then nature's helicopters. We used to toss these around as kids all the time. My neighbor across the street has a tree. When we were little, we used to just grab them and throw them up in the air all the time. So looking at different trees and leaves. This activity book is just really cool. My kids are really into the outdoors, and so I think this will be a lot of fun. This book is $14.99 if you guys are interested. I'm just going to kind of just stack them here. I had to stack them here and show you guys because I could not pick up the whole box. It was so heavy. So Abby, I don't know how you got this to the post office, but my postman even said this was really heavy to bring. So thank you for managing somehow. This is the first questions and answers lift to flap. Why do tigers have stripes? And their lift to flaps are just genuinely amazing if you are unfamiliar with them. So here is just a spread, and I don't know if you can see the flaps there. So I will pull one down. I haven't pulled any yet. I don't want to pull a bunch of them because my kids will be upset, but they're really thick and durable. They're not like going to break easily. We have many lift to flap books and we have not broken any yet. So why do tigers have stripes? Why do camels have humps? Why do turtles have shells? Why do fish have fins and birds have wings? Just lift the flaps and find your answers. So super cute. My 5-year-old is going to love this. I'm sure the other kids will love it too, but specifically she was in mind when I purchased it. This one as well is $14.99. And then the Look Inside, Sea and Oceans. This was on my girls, actually. They asked for this, which they're a little more of the See Inside age, but I think that this is, the tidbits in this are not as overwhelming, even for my 11-year-old. When I look at this, I don't mind sitting down and reading it. Sometimes when I sit down and look at the See Inside page, I only want to read like a page or two to like my little ones. So this one, I feel like they could get through the entire book. And just look how awesome that is. And then both these sides come out. And so this is, open the flaps of this book and dive into the watery world beneath the waves. Explore coasts, coral reefs, mangrove forests, and find out what lives in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean. So this one was $14.99 as well. Along with that first questions and answers, we also got what makes it rain. So talking about the weather, again, on a younger kid's level. They just do a fantastic job. I don't think, we have so many Usborne books now from the past few years, and I've been impressed by everyone. I'm never disappointed. And we got one more of those ones, and it is, why does the sun shine? So why does the sun shine? What is it made of? And where does it go at night? Find out in this beautifully illustrated flat book, and these are all $14.99. That seems to be the going price of many of their Lift the Flat books. Look inside jobs, and so I thought this would be kind of cool. Every year at the beginning of the year, as many of you probably do, we do the little boards that say like what they want to be when they grow up for their first day of school pictures. And a lot of times even my oldest, specifically my oldest, doesn't really have an idea. Now my son always wants to be a firefighter or a construction worker. It's been that way for years. My middle daughter, sometimes she'll say a hairstylist, but it's like she doesn't know. My oldest literally has never had a clue. For a long time it has been a mommy, like, which is fine, but she like just didn't know. And so I think exposing them to what other jobs, really talking about what other jobs are out there, will be a really cool thing. So we picked this one up. Here's just the very first page, and it's discovering the possibilities of over 100 things that you can be, from a nurse to a musician or an astronaut. So again, $14.99. I think that is something all of my kids will enjoy, and even if they don't find something they want to be in that book, they'll be exposed to all the different jobs and the reality that there are a lot of different jobs out there beyond what they are able to just see. We got this in the Jungle coloring book for my son, and we just love these Bear Grylls. He went through and couldn't decide on which ones to get, and so I picked up 2 of them. I'm going to give him one, and then I'm going to hang on to the other one and tuck it away for later, probably for Christmas time. But just some tidbits down here, some facts, and then some coloring for him, which will be nice for our circle time when we're doing a read aloud or something. He can do that. So these books are $4.99, so they're just a thinner paperback book. And then I tried to get activity books for all of my kids. So this I got for my 5-year-old, and it's My First Fairies activity book. It's packed with simple word, number, and picture puzzles for young children to enjoy while developing vital skills: reading, writing, counting, and observing. So this one was $7.99. Again, I'm probably going to tuck this one away for her because she picked out a sticker book, and so I'm going to give that to her because I know she'll be super excited about it. But I thought this would be really neat halfway through the year, kind of something just to change it up, maybe during circle time or whatever. And this is the other one he chose, and it was the Wild Survival Activity book. And so this one doesn't have as much coloring, but it does have stickers, as you can see, has a page of stickers, but it also has just a lot of other activities in it, and lots of it. This is still packed with information, even though it is like more of an activity book. And so this is another $4.99 like paperback book. And then, oh, I did get this. This was the sticker book that I got for my youngest, and it is My First Sticker Book, Nature. Find out about the amazing animals and plants that live in gardens, forests, jungles, oceans, and other places. Over 180 stickers. So I thought this was super cute. She loves to do stickers. Look how cute those are. And so it does have, like, this is at the seashore and at the Arctic, so it has different, like, habitats, the coral reef, the forest, and then in here are the locations, the actual habitat itself. And so she can just match the pages up, and there's no right or wrong on where to put them. She just can make her own landscape out of it. So these are $6.99. For anybody who's kind of like me and makes a list, because I'm like, how many things do I want to buy for Christmas or birthday or whatever. Usborne books are just great gifts. So my oldest, my 2 older girls met a specific bonus, I guess you could say. They met so many minutes read and all these things, and so they were able to get a couple bonuses, and one of the bonuses they got were an activity book. And so this is one of the activity books that my 9-year-old picked out, and it is a sticker mermaid book. She loves mermaids. She's just a 9-year-old girl, you know. And so there you go. And they have the matching back here. There's the stickers. So, and that's $9.99. They have lots of these just sticker dolly type books. But my other daughter, who is very into history, picked out the Country Estates. I gotta be careful with this one. Like I said, my stuff got stuck in media mail, and so it was unpackaged and repackaged. So this wasn't by Abby; it was by somebody at the UPS or USPS plant. But they tore the cover and stuff, so it's in pieces, which is a little bit of a bummer, but that's all right. But it does have just so much information here about what it was like back like in the 1900s to 1920s. And then here you can see some of the stickers. And so that again is $9.99. She really likes these historical sticker books, and they have them for all different like time periods. She got, I can't remember what the one she got last year was, maybe like the World Wars or something like that. I know I saw like the 1960s, so there's just all types of different time periods. One of the other activity books they ordered, now one of these they got for free, and I ordered everybody, I just ordered everybody one, and it was the Create Your Own Boutique. And so we actually have this, my oldest, who is 11, has this, and then my 9-year-old had the Create Your Own, is it restaurant or pizzeria or something like that, and my 9-year-old just took off on it and truly loved it. Now my 11-year-old did it and she really did like it, but my 9-year-old fell in love with the book so much that she asked for this one. So it is a lot of fun. They can really design all of the things. This will be like designing the actual clothes, but I know in the pizzeria, which is the one I got to see a lot more of because she was so excited about it, they had to design the name and the menu and the prices and all types of things. So it really pushes that like that entrepreneurial spirit. So I really enjoyed that, and she really enjoyed that. These are $9.99. They only have those two that I'm aware of. I would love if they came out with more of these, but since she loved the pizzeria so much, she asked for this. So she received that one. Now my other daughter had ordered the Vet Academy, and it was out of stock and it didn't come. So I'm going to have to try and, like I said, replace it, see if it's back in stock, do something. So, but that is the end, I believe, of the activity books. Now we have a lot more. So we got this one. This is Peek Inside, and you can, my hands are small even, and you can see how tiny this is. So it's not a tiny book, but it is not like the Look Insides or the See Insides or any of that. This is a Peek Inside. It's like the youngest on the lift flap levels, but I thought this was really cute, especially for my 5-year-old. And you can just see some of the pages in here. There's not many flaps, only a couple on each page, so it's definitely not overwhelming. Something I could easily sit down and read in a full sitting with her, unlike the See Insides that have a lot of information in them. My daughters can sit down and read them. I usually have too much to sit down and just read the full See Inside at one period. You kind of have to like pick a spread for me, and I'll read the whole page, and then we might have to move on to something else. So that I can make it through the whole way. And let me see, the Peek Insides are only $11.99. Alright, I think the wind has passed some, and my neighbor's dogs are done barking, so hopefully this will be a little better. But my very first outdoor book, this delightful book is packed with things to see and do outdoors. From looking at bugs and jumping in puddles, its charming pictures are full of outdoor things for young children to spot and talk about. So I did get the other outdoor book, the Never Bored outdoor book, and I thought that would be neat, but I also thought this would be really cool, again, especially for my 5-year-old, and it has all different things. This is about beach combing. Here we get a lot of snow and ice around here, so that's a good, will be a good page for them. Here's bird watching. So just lots of neat things in this, and then whatever, like if they find that they love birds from this or something, we can dive into that. But I just thought this was really cool. Like I said, my family is an outdoors types family, and so we really enjoy being out and hiking and hunting and doing all those types of things, gardening. So I just thought this would be really cool. This was an $11.99 book, so it is not quite as big as the See Inside height-wise, but it is wider, so it is a pretty decent-sized book. And now we have a See Inside, How Things Work. So I thought that my son particularly, but all of my kids would probably really like this. He always wants to know how things work. He's really into creating things and working outside with his dad, helping fix the bikes and those types of things. So he really loves to run the dump truck. He runs the chutes on the dump truck. My dad has a dump truck for his business and just different things. So I thought this would be really cool. And here's just some pages. Again, the lift up flaps in these are just amazing. This one's about music. So it's really about all kinds of things. Have you guys ever seen that, like, how things are made? I don't know if it's on like Discovery or National Geographic or something like that. My kids will sit and watch that show for hours. I don't find it as intriguing as them. I'm glad they do. I like learning other things, I guess, but they all really like that. So I really think they're going to enjoy this book. It says with over 90 flaps, and it was, again, $14.99. That's, like I said, that's what a lot of those larger hardback books are. So this is Usborne, 1,000 Things Under the Sea. Now, I had also ordered 1,000 Things in Nature, and unfortunately, that one was one of the ones that were out of stock as well. So I'm a little bit bummed about that. I actually would have rather had that than this, but I am super excited about these books. I think they're very neat. You can see all of these amazing pictures. Ooh, that is the end of the book. There we go. And it just has all of these things that are in the sea, and it names all of them. And I just think it's such a cool thing, because I think often we think, okay, sharks are in the sea, or seahorses in the sea, but we don't think about all of the different things. And so just to flip through this and really see them, I just thought it'd be really cool. So this is, again, another $14.99 book. They do have, like I said, they have Nature that is currently out of stock, and then they also have Animals, which I think I might consider getting as a replacement, because again, when my kids go to pick like an animal to do a project on or something, they think tiger, elephant. Like, they don't really think past those things that we see all the time. Maybe a cheetah or something, but they don't really think in depth and see a lot of all these different animals. And so I thought it would just be cool to be like, okay, go through and, look at page 15 and pick something off of there, and then, like, research it, write me a paragraph on it. So that's what I kind of got this with the mindset for my older kids, my 11 and 9-year-old, not my 5-year-old. She's not researching anything. We're still working on learning our ABCs and reading. And we did get one of these Shine a Light books. If you've ever seen these are really neat. I'm outside, and it's kind of bright, although it looks a little dark over here, and it's just because the sun is to the front of me. But I don't have a flashlight out here. But if you have seen these, they have this, and then on the back here, and you're able to shine the light through this page, through these pages, and see different things. It's really neat how these work. A really cool thing to take camping with you. We have in the garage, in the library, like all Wonders of the World. I'm trying to think. There are a lot of them. There's Secrets of the Garden. I'm trying to think off the top of my head some of them, but they're really neat books. So this one is Secrets of Animal Camouflage. If you can tell, we really like I said, outdoors, animals, all those kinds of things. So I thought this would be really cool. So this was the only Shine a Light I picked up this year. It was the most requested on the wish list. When we do this, I let my kids go through the website. My older girls and the other kids go through the old catalogs I have. They're the newest ones I have. So I let them go through that and like pick books they want. And then I order off of their wish list. So that one was the most requested across all of the audio, and you guys can't hear me. So anyways, that's a job. I like sports. What jobs are there? And that's a job. I like animals. What jobs are there? These are such cool books. So like I said, I've never seen these before, but if you turn on the inside, and I'll just flip to the first page here, it shows you I like sports. And if you're interested in sports, you don't have to just be a pro athlete. What other jobs are there that deal with sports you might be interested in? And so here is a whole bunch of things. And then as you go to each page, it discusses that job a little more in depth. So I thought that was so cool. And I originally got it because of this one. I had seen it was the I Like Animals. My oldest loves animals. In fact, she told me this year for the first time what she wanted to be was a dog breeder. But it was the same thing. I like animals. Well, everybody thinks like when you like animals, veterinarian. You know, like that's, at least to me, that's kind of what like people think of first. And if you don't want to be a vet, then what do you want to be? What could you be that involves animals? And so again, here is a whole page of things that you could be. And then again, you go to the pages and it shows things that you could be more in depth each page. And so when I saw this, I had then seen this one, and my son loves sports, so I thought that that would be something to pick up as well. I thought, again, these would just be things to have on the shelves to show them that there are tons and tons of jobs out there, that the grocery clerk you see, or the pastor you see, or the dance teacher you see aren't the only jobs. There are lots of jobs out there. Lots of jobs, lots of people make behind the scenes, you know, in the world go round. And so I just thought this would be neat. As homeschoolers, I feel like we're always working on fostering the things that our children love and helping them. I mean, the idea is to find something in life, pursue something in life that makes them truly happy. And so I thought that those books would be really neat for them to kind of dive into. Then we got the Everyday Journeys of Ordinary Things. This wind's giving me a run for my money. I'm trying to do this outside though, because I have some things in here I want to tuck away for Christmas, and I don't want my kiddos to hear me, and they're all in the basement playing. So if I do it upstairs, they will definitely see what I'm doing when they come up. Anyways, why does light come on? Why does a light come on when you flip a switch? What happens when you make a phone call? How was the paper in this book made? In fact, how was the book made? These and other everyday things are explained so you'll know all that has to happen before. For an example, you read this. All to happen before. For example, you read this brilliant book. From phones to food, from paper to poop, the ways the world works. So again, back to like, how does it work? How is it made? What jobs are there? What people work behind the scenes to make these things happen? It kind of just ties in a lot of the other books that we've been looking at. And this was actually on their wish list. It wasn't something that I was considering getting. It wasn't anything on my wish list, anything that I had set aside. And more than one of my kiddos had put this on there, the older kids. So I decided I would grab it. It was $16.99, so it was a little higher price than the other Lift a Flap books. And the job books were $15.99. I didn't mention that. So, but it was a really neat book. I'm hoping they'll be really stoked about it, and they'll be as excited about it as they were when they put it on their list. So, nature, I'm telling you, we love the outdoors, and so we got the questions and answers nature book. And this is just another Lift a Flap. These aren't quite as in-depth as the See Inside, but they're a little bit closer to the size of it. And so this, just all about nature, it is $14.99. So I'm sure we will enjoy that. I'm trying, y'all. I'm serious. You guys, this is going to be crazy editing because of the dogs and the wind. But the next one I got was See Inside Museum. And so my oldest is like a history buff. I thought she would really like this. This was definitely on her wish list. So if you just go inside, it just shows you about the different museums, the different things you can find in museums. I don't know, looking at these pictures, it kind of reminds me of like Night at the Museum, if you've ever seen that movie. Let's see, there we go. And it's just another See Inside Lift a Flap. So there's lots of information, lots of little tidbits in here. You can pick one spread at a time. You can sit and read the whole book if you have time. But it is also $14.99. And then See Inside Bridges, Towers, and Tunnels. And another Lift a Flap then here. Oh, look at that huge flap. So some of them are big. Look at that. Cool. All this little extra info. Oh, and there's more flaps underneath of that. So if you see, I don't know if you can see that kind of, but right here, there's more flaps within that. So just talks about different, when it got repackaged. Like, they all got scuffed up, so sometimes they're hard to read because stuff's messed up on the back. Inside this book, you can cross all sorts of bridges, climb to the top of the tallest towers, and down into some of the longest tunnels. Stunning illustrations and flaps to lift. Find out how bridges, towers, and tunnels are built. So, really cool. $14.99 again. And the last big book we got was the Book of Comparisons. So, I actually got this one. I hadn't looked online. A lot of times I'll go on YouTube and look for just like the inside of it or a review or something like that. And I didn't do that. And so when I bought this, I bought it with the thought that my 7-year-old son might kind of like it. Maybe it was the dump truck. I don't know. Just how you compare things and how you get to see. He gets a kick. We went to like a history museum and he got to stand beside the tank and seeing how big it is. Like, he loved that. But as I looked at it, I really think my oldest is going to love this. First, they are paper pages. A lot of these are like that thicker, almost cardboard-like pages. These are paper. So if you have a little one, but there's a lot of text on these pages. And so it says, don't look down. Do you have a head for height? Compare the height of a human to the tallest animal on the planet. Then see how the loftiest trees, buildings, and mountains on Earth measure up. So here is like doing the human and the animals, and then the trees down here. And over here we have like the mountains, and then the towers. And so this book is just jam-packed. There's so much information in here. Yeah, almost 100 pages. Oh, and look, there's workspace in the back. That I did not realize. For your own comparisons, which is kind of cool. But here. So this is just really neat. Now I'm noticing right here on this page specifically, Usborne is not a Christian company. They do not like put any religion in their books. So this does have like December 15 to 200 million years ago. So if that is going to be an issue for you, just be aware. My kids are very of the mindset they know that there's other thoughts out there, and that what we believe is what we believe, and other people believe differently. But this whole last page is like millions and billions of years ago. So if that's something that matters to you, just be aware that is in this book. So that's why we choose not to do any of the like dinosaur type books, like specifically through them, and I have to watch like on the history personally. But like I said, my older kids understand that in our house we don't believe that the world has been around for billions of years. But just something to be aware of. I think that's always important to note. And I'm going to try and speak up over this wind because it's starting again, but I'm going to try not to keep stopping for you guys. So I got this, Allison's Adventure in Wonderland. Look at the beautiful, beautiful artwork on that cover. It's the complete and unabridged version. But it does have, here we go, it does have some illustrations in it. So my 9-year-old asked for this, and I was super excited. I want her to start reading longer books. She reads chapter books all the time. She's a very good reader. She's been reading chapter books since about first grade. And my 7-year-old, who is in second grade, is not reading almost at all. So that's not to say anything. Everybody learns at a different speed, but I want her to start reading bigger books. So I was really stoked when she asked for this, so I did pick it up. It was $14.99, and it's bigger. Here's a typical chapter book, which I'm going to show you next. So that just gives you an idea, height, but much wider, and the thickness of it, just to give you kind of an idea. So we picked that up, and then we picked up all of these. We should have had, and that's the bummer, one of these didn't come. They got one of these, as each of them, as their bonus book, and then I ordered the rest of them because they really love them, but one of them is missing. It was the book that got taken out completely whenever they did whatever they did with my package. These are the Bear Grylls. We already own some of these, and my kids adore them. Last year, actually, they picked them up as their free chapter book from Abby for for getting to their goal. And they loved it, and so they asked for them, all of them, and so I went ahead and I did pick them all up this year for them. So we have the Desert Challenge, the Cave Challenge, the Earthquake Challenge, the Sea Challenge, and I know we're missing the Jungle Challenge. So these are just, will Chloe discover that in the wild you need to respect nature or suffer the consequences. These were all $4.99. They're just a normal size chapter book. My kids will definitely read these. Even though I'm not assigning them, I'm 100% certain they will get read this year. My kids absolutely adore those. I picked up my first Hey Jack. So they have a Hey Jack, and then I forget Billy. Billy is the girl set of books, I believe. Not that obviously you could read both, but I've never owned a Hey Jack book. And so my son, who is a little bit more of a struggling reader, but he is coming along. I'm hoping that reading more chapter books to him. We've done a lot of picture books, and we've started some chapter books last year, but he really just didn't have, he did read alouds with everybody. He did not enjoy sitting for specific chapter books just for him, and that's just the kind of kid he is. So I was hoping that this being a shorter chapter book might encourage him to read with me. So these are great beginning chapter books. If you have a kiddo who is just starting to read chapter books, you can see the larger print there. They do have lots of illustrations. It's not overwhelming, and it's not super thick. So let me see if I can pull up that Bear Grylls book again. A pretty average chapter book, and you can see how thin that is. So there's not nearly as many pages, and he loves soccer. He plays soccer for our local area. So I thought the winning goal, that would be appropriate. And then if he enjoys this, we're going to be starting reading it this week. Another reason I wanted to get this done, that maybe he'll be interested in the Hey Jack series, and as he begins to read better throughout the year this year, maybe we can get him some more and he will read some on his own. And then these, yeah, see, these are one of the things also. I got these to stuff their stockings. So my kids got the pocket book of the dogs. My daughter asked for it last year, and she got it at Christmas time, I believe, in her stockings. Santa brought it, and she loved it. She carries it everywhere. Her and some of her siblings fight over it because they want to look at it. It's very specific. So instead of just talking about dogs in general and how they need groomed and how they need fed and how they need exercised and all of those things, it talks about the specific breeds and the different details about those breeds. And so they thought that was incredibly interesting. And so they had, I believe it was mammals on their list this year, and I just thought that these were so cool. So I just went ahead and picked up more of them. But here you go. They're just like little pages of information. It's almost like flashcards in a book. And they're super, like you can see my hand. Here's that Hey Jack book, which is the height of a typical book, just to give you an idea. And so we got mammals, cats. My youngest is obsessed with cats. I have no idea. We don't have cats. I don't like cats. I did when I was a kid, though, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Insects, I thought my son would love this. And then predators. I thought that would be really cool too. They also have, like I said, we got dogs, and they have sea animals, I believe, or ocean animals, something like that. They may have a couple others. I'm not sure. Those are the only ones I'm aware of off the top of my head. But I thought these were really neat to add to our collection. So I got 4 kids, 4 books, and I will, like I said, we'll put those in the stockings for Christmas. So these are $4.99 each. So I can get those put away now, and I can give them the rest of their books. But if you guys are like these kinds of videos, if you guys are interested in hauls, I like to share with you guys the things that I'm picking up, especially those things that I'm able to use in my homeschool classroom. So give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy those also. And if you guys are new here, please click that subscribe button. I'd love to have you around. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.